So my phone doesn't like to cooperate. It'll only save on phone sometimes, and then it's anywho. So back to my story about Columbia, South Carolina. In the middle of the night, I decided it was time to go, and they had a dog. And they didn't treat the dog very well, and I was very upset with that. But I couldn't do much about it. But something told me, like clear as a bell, like you need to leave now. So I did, and I let the dog go on my way out. It was early in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I took the tracks again, and I walked, south. I think it was south. Anywho, I ended up in Ward, South Carolina, but I walked for like a week. It was like a week of walking, right? And I ended up in Ward, South Carolina, and I stumbled upon these animals on the tracks, which, you see dead animals on tracks, but this was different. There were two Rottweiler pups, and I really believe they were placed there on purpose at this point, but anywho, I stumbled, one was dead, and the other one was alive and in shock. Had a little bit of her tail, last little bit of her tail stripped off. So I got in my pack and I had a wrap or a t-shirt or something. So, but I wrapped her up and I grabbed her and I got her off the tracks. And I walked off and I didn't get but 100 yards and a train come through. She might not have made it. And, but what are the chances that I would have been there at that time for that specific reason? Could have been a fluke, but I doubt it. Because at that time in my life, what it taught me was that, because I was trying, I had things going on, but at that time, what it taught me was like, it's not just about you, Tim. It's about what you can help other creatures with. And it sucked because at the time I didn't think much of myself, and I still kind of don't, but I really don't. But that taught me, it's like, well, you might not think that you're anything, but and I was there, and so I got the dog, and I took her off the tracks, and I took her over to the nearest store. And I says, hey, I need this animal taken care of. The lady says, I can't take care of it. My boyfriend would kill me if I took it home. I'm like, well, I'm homeless and I can't take care of this animal. I wish I could, Oh, she told me, she's like, you know what? You're a good person. I said, I don't know about that. I said, it's just from one living creature to another, it deserves a chance to live. And I just happened to be there at the time to help it, But anywho, so I end up, I end up going to the next town. Someone took me over, and but I sat there with her. She ended up going to like an animal rescue. I don't know, by pound, but she might have been euthanized. But I sat there with her, and she looked up at me. I had her cradled in my arms, and she just looked up at me, and she was in pain, you could tell, but she looked at me. She was settled, and I feel bad. I was like, man, if any animal I could ever have in my fucking life, that would be a good one, but barely take care of myself at the time, right? But still, it's a very important thing. I didn't realize. It's like I was told at that point in Columbia, it's time for you to go. So I did. And a week later, I ran into that. Coincidence? I think not.